Okay, here is speedrun of Flower Power Cell Esports case. I'm gonna try to put the answers on this new platform here. The first one is just counting how many sunflowers there is, right? So of course that's use our built-in countif for that. Now we got to do pivots, right? So I need to know a few things. I need to know the address of the cell. I need to know what the starting status is, how many times it flips, what the end status is, and then for the pivots, I need to know like the distance, right? So I need to so there's only one pivot to start with, right? But I'm preparing for more pivots. The addresses and the starting statuses I can get from there. The pivot, right? So I need to know the distance, right? So, well, I also need to know if it's an X, right? So that's the other thing is if it's an X, then you cannot pivot, right? But if it's not an X, then so if this, right, locking the 22, if that is an X, then I'm going to use 99 as a distance, meaning that it's way too far. Otherwise, it's just the distance between this and this. I'm using this as a lambda. Download lambdas at the link in the description. 0 diagonal allowed, right? Because this is our Manhattan taxi cab distance. And do that for all the addresses. And then it will flip if the distance or countif, I'm going to have however many flips there are if this is less than or equal to 1, right? So if the taxi cab distance is less than or equal to 1, then it's going to flip. Otherwise, it's not. And then not less than 1, but less than or equal to 1. And then the ending status, I'll use ifs, right? So what? And so if it starts out as a tulip and there is an odd number of flips, then it will turn into a sunflower, right? No, the parentheses goes there at the end of the and. And then if it starts as a sunflower and it's an odd number of flips, it'll go to a tulip. Any other situation, if it's an X or an even number of flips, we just get the original status, which is F25. And then count if this is a sunflower, and that should be my answer for level 2. All right. Oh, and I'm supposed to be putting them in here. All right. So there's level 2. I forgot level 1. Go back to level 1 to put into the platform here. Okay. Level 3 is next. So this is similar, except the distance is like going to be a variable, right? Let's start with A1. Hard coded because I'm going to use a what if table, right? So these are for each game, I want to test every possible pivot and then find whichever one gives the maximum tulips, right? So the number of, and it depends on what the pivot is, right? Because you can't pivot an X, right? So I look up the pivot that I'm testing and I have to see if it's an X or not. There's no X's here, but there might be an X later. So if this potential pivot is an X, then we'll say 0 tulips, right? Otherwise, the count if this is a tulip, right? And now I can use my what if table, 2-dimensional what if table, right? Where the column input cell is up here as usual. And the row input cell is this pivot here. And then the maximum number of tulips for each garden that is set up is here. So that should be the answers to level 3, which also goes in the platform. And we'll do level 4 next. All right, level 4 is actually more similar to level 2. So I'm going to copy it over from level 2, starting at cell C21. All right, so now the pivots are here. And the garden, this is the garden, right? So I'm gonna make a tab for this, just make a, because I have a lambda that will handle this well. If I have a garden, this is gonna be the level 4 garden. It's not what I wanted to do. I wanted a blank thing here. So I'm gonna clear all. I'm gonna take this, put it here. So now the x2 call of this is just going to give me that the contents of that and the addresses. The distances, right, are based on this, but I got to look at the whole thing here. So this goes all the way down to, let's say, 49. So now if I'm looking at the whole garden, all right, that should tell me, oh no, there's some hidden rows here. This was all a bad idea. I'm gonna do a fresh garden for, no, not copy. I always want to copy. I just want a brand new blank worksheet. L4 garden. Don't copy anything that starts. The L4 garden is here. I'm going to put it here, and now I'm going to use x2 call to get the correct cells and addresses for the garden. And there it is. That is there. These flips are all the way out to here. I need to count all the flips, right? It's not just one, but many now. But yeah, I mean, the in formula should be the same, right? So now I just count if the number of tulips, and that is ready to go in this platform as well. All right, and level 5 is just the same thing, but you know, a little bigger. So now I'm gonna, let me copy from L4 garden to make L5 garden. And here is L5 garden starting in cell A1. So put this in A1. And now I can use X2 call to just, you know, pull out this data. Oh, lost it. No equal sign. X2 call to pull out all this data here. All right. And there's going to be more of these, right? So starting there and going all the way to there. And this checking for the x's has got to go down to 124. So 124, 124. Oh, I didn't do that right because this had the column locked. That's not good. Oh no, this had this like there, right? But I needed to check it for all of these, right? Which I didn't do before. I guess it didn't. There's no X pivots in level 4, so that didn't mess me up. But level 5, there's going to be X pivots. So the case author, I know, is going to put some in level 5 just to fool us, even though there weren't any in level 4. All right, so now this here can go, you know, all the way down like this. All right, so I've got all my distances. I missed a column though, like that. This stuff goes here. The only other difference is that now this is with it. This is a taxi cab distance of 2, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's going to flip if it's less than or equal to 2. And it's got to check all of them. So if any of those are less than or equal to 2, then we're going to get a flip. And we are going to see count if the ending garden is a sunflower this time, I thought. Yes, sunflower this time. Looks correct. So that here, did that not copy? Let's do it. All right. Copy now. Thought it would copy. 5. It's all correct. Just got to copy it over here. Good. All right, now we can do our bonus questions. So across all the gardens in the initial state, how many sunflowers are there? Keeping in mind there's 20 identical on level 4 and 20 identical on level 5. So I'm going to start with these gardens from here, right, which is levels 1, 2, and 3, and do a frequency table. These count 1 each, right? And then, am I looking for tulips or sunflowers? I'm looking for sunflowers, right? So count if, this is a sunflower for level 4, and then the same thing for this for level 5 garden. So this is level 5, so it's this. Keep in mind there are 20 on level 4, 30 on level 5. So 20 on level 4 and 30 on level 5, and add in the ones from the early ones, and it's 2043. All right, 2043. Now there are 100 cells. 1 cell is most frequently mentioned. How many times? So grab all these. It's on what, level 5 or level 4 and 5? Let's see. On level 5. So just on level 5. So if I select just level 5 and do a frequency table of that, the one that is mentioned the most times is mentioned 16 times. And then finally, level 5 garden, how many tulips do you have after 96 pivots have been made? 4 pivots are impossible due to empty flower beds. All right, so I do just every single pivot on level 5, right? And that's going to be bonus 3. So bonus 3 is simply, got to transpose all of this for my pivots. And then I've got to, bring it all the way over to DD. Right? How far down do I need to go? 124 DD. DD 124 is there. All right, so there's all the pivots. And the X's I need to not pivot, right? Which will be handled by that. So now you see these X pivots are just giving 99s. And then the flips needs to go all the way out to DD. And then I need to know how many tulips. So count if this is a tulip. All right, it says 43. Put that in there and stop the clock. Takes 5 seconds for this to show up, but there we go. I got all the points for this, I believe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.